This video tutorial I will explain RESTful API example with Spring Data REST, JPA and Hibernate with many-to-many relationship. Spring Data JPA and Spring Data REST will auto-create some helper methods and RESTful APIs. And in this example, we only need to extend JPA repository. We will see the example so that you will understand. Here you can see author table and here you can see the book table. And there is a junction table called book underscore author. One author can have n number of books and one book can have n number of authors. So in this junction table, we can map. One book can have n number of authors and one author can have n number of books. Here you can see the project Spring Boot Data REST demo. And I have opened a pom.xml file. And here I have included the dependencies of Spring Boot Starter Data REST and Spring Boot Starter Data JPA and MySQL Connector Java. Here I have defined the class author, which is entity class, and it has ID, name, and set of books. One author can have n number of books, so many-to-many relationship is established. And it has getter and setter methods for these fields. Here I have defined the class book, which is entity class. It has ID field, title field, and description field, and also set of authors. One book can have n number of authors, so many-to-many relationship is established, and join table is book underscore author. And it has getter and setter methods for these fields. Here I have defined the interface author repository, which extends JPA repository. And here I have defined the interface book repository, which extends JPA repository. In application.properties file, I have given database URL, which points to book database, and username and password is root, and driver class name I have given here. And DDL should be auto created. Here you can see the book DB, and currently there is no tables. Here I have defined the class application, which is Spring Boot application. I am running this Spring Boot application. Spring Boot application has been started, and there are three tables are created: author, book, and book underscore author, based on the domain classes. Refresh, and here you can see three tables are created: author, book, and book underscore author. Book has ID, title, and description columns, and author has ID and name columns, and book underscore author has book underscore ID and author underscore ID. Next, what I am going to do is I am going to create new books, then new author, and assign author to the book. To create a new book, we have to use this URL. HTTP method should be post. Select JSON. I am creating a first book. Click on send, and book has been created. Here you can see first book has been created. We will create one more book. Click on send, and second book has been created. Refresh, and there are two books are there. Next we will create author. Use this URL. HTTP method should be post. Select JSON, and author name is Peter, and description is Spring Boot books. Click on send, and author is created, and here you can see author is created. Now what we will do is we will link this author to these two books. We have to link the book to author in this table. We will see how to do that. To assign author to the book, we have to use this URL. HTTP method is put. Select text. We have to add a content type header. And value is text slash URI list. Select text and copy this. So here what I am doing is I am assigning book ID 1 to author 1. Click on send. Refresh, and here you can see book ID 1 is linked to author 1. Next I will link book ID 2 to author 1. Click on send. Now book ID 2 is linked to author 1. Now I want to see the books related to author 1. Click on this URL, and HTTP method is get. Click on send, and there are two books related to author 1, Spring Boot JDBC and Spring Boot JPA. Next what I am going to do is I am going to create a new book called Java collection, and create a new author called John, and assign the author John to this Java collection book. Create a new book called Java collection, and it is created. Creating a new author called John. New author is created. Next I am assigning book 3 to author 2, which is John. And it is linked successfully. and I want to see the books related to author 2. Click on this. HTTP method is get. Click on send, and books related to author 2 is Java collection. Author 2 is John. You can get Java source code link for each video in the description section of the video. Here you can see the description section. Click on show more, and here you can see the Java source code links. Click on these links to get the Java source code.